everyone, Ryan from Game Skinny here. In case you can't tell, today I am doing a review for the Ear Force XP510 gamer headset that I'm wearing right now, and I'm probably talking really loud because I have headphones on. So I'm just going to hold these right here. First thing you notice about these is the name Ear Force. Not necessarily something I want to put on my head if it's forcing itself into my ears. However, if we're gonna go down that path of Family Guy episode jokes with the ear sex, I would say these make very sweet, gentle love to your eardrums and are in no way forceful or loud. I've been using them for a couple of days. They're pretty nice. Right off the bat, I'll do a size comparison so you see how big they are on my enormous head in the first place. And I have my trusty old Bose QC3 headphones I've had forever. You see they're starting to fall apart here, but pretty big difference because obviously this is a headset with a microphone, and these are just your standard old wired plugged in headphones. But nonetheless, let's get to the review. So we're in a kind of transitional phase in video games right now. We've just had two consoles launch, and both of those new consoles, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, lack backwards compatibility, meaning that you are going to have to keep your old hardware if you want to continue to play any games designed for that hardware, because there are still a few titles like Persona 5 coming out that will be on PlayStation 3 and possibly not PlayStation 4. But besides the point, will this work on all those? The answer is sort of. So these are primarily designed for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, as you will see by the instruction manual. However, this does not mean that it is not compatible with next-gen hardware. I personally have not tested it, but I did research into it that for the PlayStation 4, you're going to need a wired adapter. They will not work as a wireless microphone. The PlayStation 4 does not recognize the Bluetooth for these headsets. Not sure if a firmware update or anything is going to rectify that. But as of right now, it will work on PlayStation 4 as headphones and a wired headset. Similarly, Xbox One will not work as a microphone at all. So you will have to use the microphone feature on the Kinect, but it will work as a set of headphones on the Xbox One. So it's semi-compatible. As far as Wii U compatibility or even the original Wii, no, it's not going to work. The main thing, when I do a close-up shot, you will see the RF transmitter that is required to get the proper surround sound into these. It has a digital optical audio cable port. So you need those fancy optical audio cables. Same goes for PC. I made the mistake when I first set this up. I set it totally as Bluetooth on my PC, and it caused a slew of problems. I tried to run it in Team Fortress 2 as both a Bluetooth microphone and a Bluetooth headset at the same time, and it caused basically the audio just to drop out completely. So if you are on PC, make sure your PC has an audio optical port, or you buy a separate adapter that will allow for line in to your PC. So how do they sound? Well, when I first tried them, I was not impressed at all. Actually, compared to my old Bose, they felt like very hollow and a little bit tinny, unfortunately. And at this time also, I had them improperly set up on my PC as Bluetooth headphones. So that was part of the problem, but the main problem is, at least the pair that I have as a review pair came with very old firmware. It was on firmware version 3.5, and when you go on the website and update via this little USB port right here, you will find the latest firmware is version 6.7, which made a monumental difference in the way the sound comes out of this. So if you get these headphones and they do not sound all that great, absolutely make sure to go onto Turtle Beach's website and update your firmware. It's very important. Besides that, it opens up a whole new slew of customability options, and versatility is what these are all about. So besides working flawlessly with Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and if you're not a total dummy like me, you'll probably get it working on PC with hardly any problems, and next-gen systems somewhat supported. I wouldn't call it official support. Actually, the Xbox One, they say there is an adapter on the way that will allow you to use the microphone. So comfortability is definitely something that we look for in headsets. These are pretty flexible, pretty adjustable, pretty good chance that it's gonna fit your head. I'll go into all the buttons and dials close up in just a sec. They're a little bit on the heavy side, as to be expected with a headset of this size. Again, see how big they are. It's kind of funny, while I was testing these this weekend, I happened to be on Twitch TV where some ads were running for this exact headset, and they quoted IGN as so comfortable that they fell asleep in them, and not quite that comfortable for me. Specifically, I wear glasses. I'm not wearing them in my videos mostly because, as you will see, I get a giant glare on my glasses when I do videos, but wearing these, it's not really comfortable with glasses, especially after a couple hours wearing these with glasses. They smush into the side of your head and leave dents. I don't quite fault Turtle Beach for this, because basically any headset this size is going to do that with a pair of glasses. I guess that's why I like those Bose so much, because they're smaller speakers that you can wear a long time with glasses and not cause a problem. So again, not really Turtle Beach's fault that they don't really smash into your head. This part feels just fine, even when you're not wearing a hat. Very sturdy. They feel high quality, and they should for the retail price of $290. Alright, so let's run through all the buttons we have here on the XP510. So this is going to be the left side of your headset. You'll notice this is where your mic is. It is a very flexible mic. It's on the arm here, so when you're not using it, it can be stored up like that. But most of the time it'll be down, and no matter what your head size is, it's going to be able to accommodate it. The all-important power button right here. So you probably heard the nice disembodied voice that lives inside the headset. It's a very pleasant sounding lady. Starting with the mode button right here. Out of the box for me, I only had game and chat mode, but after a firmware upgrade, you'll also get movie and music mode, which really changes up the how you hear things on the headset. You'll see game presets, so that's specifically for game mode. It'll do a wide range of enhancements. Say you want to hear footsteps in a more kind of quiet setting, it's got a setting for that. Or if there's a lot of explosions and it's a more cinematic game, there's modes that'll enhance those as well. Down here is the chat mic preset. So again, that's for this microphone right here. I will do an example in this video of what all the different voice modulations sound like, but just pressing that button will cycle through them. This dial controls the microphone volume, so that can go up and down. The mic does have its own mute button, which I'll show you in a second. Underneath here, if you want a wired connection to an Xbox controller, that's primarily what this port's for, but it will also double in case you just want to use this as a set of wired headphones, say like on a Nintendo 3DS or really anything that has a headphone jack. Back here is your volume control for the just the volume coming into the headset. And we'll switch her over here. So This right side is primarily your Bluetooth side. You'll notice Bluetooth has its own volume up and volume down, meaning that you can have a dual pairing. You can have audio coming in from two sources, so the knob on the left will control one source, and then your Bluetooth audio source is controlled over here. So that's pretty cool if you want to listen to music from streaming from a Bluetooth device, or even if you want to take phone calls or listen to phone calls. This is the button that you will use to pair to Bluetooth. I had pretty much no problem pairing it up with my Bluetooth on my PC. This is the mute button for your microphone over here. One little annoyance for me at least is every time you power it on, it will power up the microphone, so you'll make sure to have to hit this button. Some newer headsets these days, just when you put it up in that position, it'll automatically mute it. This does not have that feature. You always have to hit that button. Underneath here is where you plug in the USB to program it or charge it. There are two separate cables. There is just one USB power cable, which can get a little bit confusing when you're trying to upgrade the firmware. Make sure you have a proper USB data cable. They do give you one. You just have to make sure you're picking the proper one. And here we have the RF transmitter. So I just wanted to give a rundown of the buttons that are on here. That's the pair to the transmitter, to turn surround sound on and off, and you have 6 different options of which angle the surround sound actually comes from. It's hard to notice the difference, but there are options. You will notice that this is a dual band Wi-Fi transmitter. I did not have any interference coming from my Wi-Fi router using this. In fact, I tested both a wired connection and wireless connection, and I really couldn't tell the difference. It's just as crisp coming from either source. You will need an optical cable for this. So here's your digital ports in and out. Even on PC, this will not work as 100% Bluetooth. You will need an optical port on your PC, or there is a separate adapter that takes use of these line-in ports right here, and there's a volume control knob for that to adjust it. But I used it the way it's intended with these ports, and the surround sound's been great. If you do you can use them as just Bluetooth headphones. I did not notice surround sound when I did it that way though. So I'm pretty sure the virtual surround sound that you hear comes through this device. So make sure to include this. Otherwise, if you're using an older Xbox 360, you will need an adapter in order to get this to work with it. It's some sort of HDMI audio adapter. It's in the manual. Power right here, USB only. So say you have an older model Xbox or PlayStation with only a few USB ports, you better be willing to give one of those up to power this device. And I also wanted to show you the Bluetooth dongle that comes specifically for the Xbox 360. So you take a 360 controller, you plug it down here, fits in nice and snugly, then you just power up and you do that, and you have wireless Bluetooth chat right there on the Xbox 360. As simple as that. On consoles, this works fantastic. The setup of instructions are in the manual. Pretty easy peasy. Does what it's supposed to do. This is a gaming headset though, so there's really two important things about this. Number one is, how does this sound, and how does this make you sound? So we'll start off with the microphone on how you sound through it. I was actually able to do a direct capture on my PC, and we'll go ahead and play a little sample of all the voice modes. This is a direct capture from the microphone. I'm going to cycle through a few of the voice modes, and hopefully it doesn't crash anything.
So this is chat 2. It's supposed to be like a little more flat. Chat 3, maybe a little more bass. Chat 4, again, I can't really tell much of a difference. I can hear it through the headset, but not a big difference, as you're about to see in these next ones.
Now I am going to eat your baby.
Now, I am a robot. I am a robot reviewing headphones. Chat 8, oh, hey, this is kind of sexy. Hey, how you doing? And back to chat 1. So as you can see, if you don't like the sound of your voice like me, well, hey, you got some choices, so that's pretty cool.
Now, while I was able to get the microphone to work with the PC to do a capture, I ran into quite a few problems in trying to get it to work with Skype or Google Hangouts, which for a headset, as you can tell by the quality, obviously you're not going to be recording any professional voiceovers with it, but it would be suitable for doing calls over Skype or doing a Google Hangout. Again, I had a lot of trouble getting the microphone actually recognized by the software. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I just spent at least an hour trying to get it to work. And well, you're watching a video of me trying to do it right now, and I just said something hilarious right there, and you guys missed it because the microphone didn't pick it up. So, oh well, your loss. Good luck on trying to get this to work with Google Plus or Google Hangout, because I did not. Alright, moving on. So how does this sound? When it is plugged in properly through the RF transmitter, it sounds fantastic. It does a virtual version of Dolby Digital Surround. You can set different angles for it, blah, 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 whatever. It works. And so we'll play a video right now. So I was kind of bold enough or dumb enough to try out the surround sound with Outlast. Outlast is a game that I have not played through yet. I saw a little bit of it played online, and the silly thing is I knew what was coming at me in Outlast, and I still jumped and screamed like a little girl because these work so well. At one point in the video, you will actually see I'm looking up and my head is moving in different directions because that's where the headphones are actually registering the sound, and it corresponds with the space in the game because when I am looking up, it is up at an air duct vent where the noise came from. So in terms of the accuracy of the digital surround sound, I'd say these are very accurate. Now we'll compare this to actually the first test I did with these headphones with episode 1 of season 2 of The Walking Dead. Now that's the Walking Dead season 1 at least had fantastic sound design, very cinematic, very depressing. Figured that hey, that was going to work great with these, but not much of an impact with the surround sound. As you can see in the first half of the video, I'm actually using it as a wired connection, and I did not really pick up much of the surround sound through wired. Similarly, the second playthrough, where besides being so depressed by the game, I had to start drinking. The Bluetooth connection wasn't really providing that good of an experience, and also at this point I had not realized that Bluetooth had its own volume, so this was actually very low for me and kind of hard to hear what was going on. But once you have these working properly, they're a very competent set of PC headphones, even though they're primarily designed for consoles. So my final verdict for this, it is again a $290 pair of headphones For that price, you can buy a Wii U, even though ironically it will not work on that Wii U. However, Turtle Beach does have a specific headset for Wii U. Maybe I'm just dumb because Turtle Beach has fantastic customer support. Tons of YouTube videos, walkthroughs, guides, whatever you could want. It just happens to be the set that I got. The instruction manual had absolutely zilch about setting it up on PC, and I just mistakenly set it up. When it works fantastic. Will it work that well on a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? The verdict's still out on that. I haven't been able to test it. It's your money, really. Personally, I would say if your primary gaming platform is going to be either PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, perhaps wait a little bit and see what you can get in a headset specifically designed for those systems. But if you can get your hands on these at a reasonable price, or you're planning on sticking around on current gen and PC for a while, this is a fantastic set of headphones to use across multiple platforms. You just pop out your optical cable, plug it into a different source, and you're good to go. I even tested this out with a cable box and was listening to TV and surround sound, and it was fantastic. The only one downside to that is there is no way to power off. Holding down the power button will not power off these headsets. They only will power off when there is no audio signal for maybe a couple minutes, and that is also problematic on the PC. Say if you're doing video editing, like I will be doing for this video, if you sit with the headphones turned on for more than like 2 minutes, they will automatically turn themselves off if they don't hear anything. So again, another minor annoyance, but understandable, as these were designed for console gaming and not a do everything set of PC headphones. So there you go. Turtle Beach. They're expensive. If you got the money, buy them.